Hey everyone, BoogeyMan Ben here. Toast to New Year's. Happy New Year to all of my fans here on YouTube. Also just wanted to say thank you for the continued support of this channel. This has been I've done a lot of videos this year in 2012, and I have to say that the support and the comments and the feedback that I've gotten has just been really awesome. I don't have a lot of trolls come to my channel, so that's kind of nice. So I really have a lot of nice people that give me some nice feedback, and I really appreciate it. And stay tuned for more stuff coming from me in 2013. Really excited about 2013. 2011 was a tough year for me, and 2012 started off really tough because 5 days into this year I lost my job, and that was not easy because my wife was already unemployed. We were already having a hard time with her just being unemployed, and then I lost my job. So we had a tough start to the year. We were fearful that we were going to lose our home, but luckily we were able to keep up with everything, and despite how tough it was, we were able to pull through it, and both of us are working now and starting off the new year with jobs. So, we have good companies we work for. So I'm really happy and thankful and appreciate all the support from not only my YouTube fans, but also friends and family outside of this. Just a lot of support, and it was really appreciated. So aside from all of that, for my last video of the year, I wanted to talk about the movies that I saw this year that I enjoyed and what my top 10 movies were. I know a lot of channels are doing that, and like I've said in the past, I don't like to do movie reviews, but I would like to talk about, I think this was just a great year for film. There were so many good films that came out. Now, there was a few films I didn't get to see that I really wanted to. I still haven't seen Django Unchained. I still haven't seen Sinister, which is a movie I really wanted to see, but at the time I couldn't find anybody to go see it with me. So my wife said it was too scary for her, so I kind of just said, well, I'll just wait. So that's still coming out. I think it's coming out on DVD and Blu-ray in February, so I'm looking forward to that one. But I did see a lot of good films this year, and so what I'd like to do is just talk about what my top 10 films were for the year. I hope everyone enjoys this, and stay tuned. Now, number 10 on my list is a movie I don't have yet because it's still in the theaters, and it is Skyfall, starring Daniel Craig as James Bond. Now, I am not a big James Bond fan at all, but I was a fan of Daniel Craig prior to him becoming the character of James Bond. I had seen him in Road to Perdition. I really liked him in that, even though he played a bad guy in that. I really liked him in that film. And I sort of got interested in seeing Casino Royale when it came out. I thought it was a great movie. Loved Quantum of Solace, but I loved Skyfall. Just a great film. My favorite James Bond film. For someone who's not a big fan of those films or that series, this was my favorite James Bond film of all time. Just had great action, had a tremendous song by Adele, and the action in it was just great. Daniel Craig was great. Judi Dench was great as M. Javier Bardem was great as the main bad guy. It was just a great film. Very fast-paced, a lot of great tributes to the old Bond films, just a tremendous time at the movies. I really loved that film. So yeah, number 10 is Skyfall. Love that film. Number 9 on my list for great films of this year, or my favorite was, number 9 was The Grey. Love this film. I've noticed a lot of people that I follow on YouTube that are film critics have left this off their top 10, and I can't believe it because I think it's a tremendous film. Very exciting, very scary. A terrific performance by Liam Neeson. Just really puts you in that world of being tracked by these wolves, and the plane crash scene is just insane, and just everything about it. I mean, really just an emotional roller coaster, and I just really loved this film when it came out. I've watched it many times on DVD, and really appreciate it. I think it's one of Liam Neeson's best films, so really enjoyed The Grey. Number 8 on my list for this year was Cabin in the Woods. I love this film too. A lot of people were kind of like this. Even the horror fans would surprise me. A lot of horror fans really did not like this film because it was not the standard horror film that it was built out to be. It was a very kind of almost like a dark comedy look at the inner workings of a horror film and how it works. And I found that really refreshing, and I really enjoyed it. And I think Joss Whedon did a tremendous job writing this, and just a great film. Loved the cast in it, and I just had a great time with it. And it's just a fun film to watch, and really liked the look at how the cliches of a horror film are set up. I mean, just fun of a film. I mean, if you haven't seen it, go check this one out. So number 8 on my list is Cabin in the Woods. Number 7 on my list is another film I think was very underappreciated, and I was hoping it would do better at the box office this year, was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Now, a lot of people for some reason took this movie to be almost literal, and that there was like, it was almost like sacrilege that this subject matter was being attached to our 16th president. But I actually love this film 100%. I think they did a great job directing it. The director from Wanted did this film. Seth Grahame-Smith, who wrote the book, actually did the screenplay, and I just loved it. I just thought it was a great film. It was fun and exciting, and there was some great effects, some great slow-mo shots. I liked everything about this film, and I was surprised that it didn't do better, because it was the type of film that I really liked as a kid. You know, it was just a fun film, and it's a type of film that I just look forward to when it comes out now, because they're kind of rare. But yeah, number 7, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Great film. If you haven't checked it out, I recommend it 100%. Number 6 on my list is another film that's still in theaters, and that's The Hobbit by Peter Jackson. I really loved the first chapter in the new trilogy that Peter Jackson is putting together. Just a great film, really brought me back to Middle-earth. I loved the Lord of the Rings films, and it was nice to go back there after, I guess, 9 years since the Return of the King came out. So, but I think that everybody was great in it, and I really look forward to the next 2 films. I don't understand why some people are having problems with The Hobbit, or saying that it's not as exciting as The Lord of the Rings. It's just a different story. And I remember as a kid, I really loved the cartoon The Hobbit, and I used to have the record with the book record that told you the story of The Hobbit and Bilbo, and I've always been looking forward to them making a live action movie of this story. So just really enjoyed it, and recommend 100% The Hobbit. Loved that film. Number 6 on my list. Number 5 on my list is Prometheus. Love this film. Was a big fan of it. Was really excited when I heard that they were doing a prequel to Alien. And I love the first 2 Alien movies, Alien and Aliens. They're just 2 of my favorite science fiction films. I'm not a big science fiction fan, but I love this because it's in the same universe as those films. Has that same feeling, especially Ridley Scott's Alien really has that vibe. I like that all of the special effects were practical. It wasn't a lot of CGI, which I thought was great. Great cast, and just a really interesting movie, and a really different route for a prequel to an already established series. It was almost more like a spin-off, because I've heard another critic, Jeremy Janes on YouTube, say that it's more of a spin-off of the space jockey character. But I think he's 100% on the nose with that. It was more of a spin-off, but I really like where this story went, and I'm really interested to see what the next chapter in this series will be. So Prometheus, number 5 on my list. Love this film. Number 4 on my list for the year was the Avengers. Now, I love the Marvel films. I liked everyone that has come out. I love both Iron Mans. The Incredible Hulk is my favorite because it erased the horrible memory of Ang Lee's Hulk, which I hate 100% with a passion. But the Incredible Hulk was great. I love Thor and Captain America. And this was just an amazing film. They were able to, Marvel did the smartest thing by establishing those characters in their own separate film, and then put them all together in this film. And just what a ride this movie was. It was just awesome from start to finish. They got the characters right. I was upset that Ed Norton wasn't able to come back as Bruce Banner, but you know, that was some behind the scenes friction there. But I thought Mark Ruffalo did a great job playing Banner, and just the Hulk was amazing in this, and so was Iron Man and Captain America and Thor and Nick Fury, and Scarlett Johansson is hot as ever, and she was great as Black Widow. And also loved Hawkeye. The fact that Jeremy Renner just did a great job playing Hawkeye, and being a comic collector since I was 10 years old, and seeing all these characters live on the screen, or up on the screen in this film was just an amazing. I felt like a little kid watching this film. So number 4, The Avengers. Love this film. Now, number 3 on my list is, again, another movie that's still in the theaters, and that is Hitchcock, starring Anthony Hopkins and Helen Mirren. Now, most of you know I'm a huge fan of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, the Psycho series, Anthony Perkins, anything to do with those films. When I heard that they were turning Stephen Robello's book into a movie about the making of Psycho and Alfred Hitchcock, I was really excited to see it, and boy was I not disappointed at all. I've heard some grumblings about it, and some people have different opinions about it, but I loved it. I thought Hopkins did an amazing job as Hitchcock. Helen Mirren was just amazing as his wife Alma, and just the inner workings of how he got Psycho to the screen and what he had to go through. I mean, what an amazing film. And I haven't read Stephen Robello's book. I've actually tried to buy it, and it's like impossible to find. But for a fan of Psycho and a fan of Hitchcock, it was just a real treat. And I had seen this other movie that had been on Showtime this year called The Girl, which focused on his relationship with Tippi Hedren when they were making The Birds and Marnie, and I hated that film 100%. I thought Toby Jones was just a creepy version of Hitchcock. Just did not like that film, and it was so nice to see this version of Hitchcock played by Anthony Hopkins. And I think it's a truer form for the director, who did have an infatuation with his leading ladies, but it wasn't put into this sleazy light like they did in that movie The Girl, which I think is a horrible movie in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion, but I absolutely loved Hitchcock. Cannot wait for it to come out on DVD or Blu-ray. We'll be picking it up, and my wife loved it just as much as I did. So Hitchcock, number 3 on my list. Amazing film. Loved it. Now, movies 1 and 2 for me were tough. I kept going back and forth on which one should be number 1 and which one should be number 2 on my list. And I finally have come down to it. Now, number 2 on my list is The Expendables 2. Love this film. I love the original Expendables, one of my favorite movies of all time, and this again is one of my favorite movies of all time. Just an amazing film. I think it blows the first Expendables away. Much more action, much more humor. I mean, it just there, and you got like Chuck Norris in it, Schwarzenegger's bigger in it, Willis is in it. You got Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture. You got Jean-Claude Van Damme. Then, of course, you have the amazing Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham. You just have some tremendous talent in this film, and I was not disappointed at all in this film, and I'm really hopeful that they'll make a third one in the series. So, Expendables 2, number 2 on my list. Absolutely loved it. I almost watch it on a daily basis. I love this film. Okay, number 1 movie this year for me, and this one was almost a surprise to me. I love the series, but I did not realize the impact that this film would have on me when I saw it in the movie theater when it came out. I'm talking about The Dark Knight Rises. I saw this movie 3 times in the movie theater, paying full price all 3 times. Saw it in IMAX. I don't know why, but this movie to me is the movie of 2012. There was a lot of great films this year. There's some films, like I said, I haven't seen, but this film just blew me away. I think Christian Bale was amazing in this. I thought Michael Caine was amazing in this. Tom Hardy was great as Bane. I think he blows Heath Ledger's Joker out of the water. Again, this is my opinion. And I thought Anne Hathaway was just tremendous as Catwoman. She just did a great job. And I love that this was just a personal story for a finale to a film series. Very different from what I think a lot of people thought this Batman film would be. But to me, this is one of the greatest films ever made. I think it's the best film Chris Nolan has ever made. And I've watched this film probably 20 times since buying the DVD, and I did see it 3 times in the movie theater. So The Dark Knight Rises is my favorite film of 2012 and one of my favorite movies of all time. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching this. Like I said, I just wanted to do something real quick, talk about the best movies of this year. In my opinion, I thank everyone for taking the time to watch this. I hope everyone has a nice, safe New Year's Eve and a very prosperous 2013. And I'm going to be changing some things up here in the Horror Zone. I'm going to be redoing a few things and making it a little bit different in terms of the layout. I've had the same layout for a while. I kind of want to change it up in here a little bit. So look forward to that. I'll do a little tour of the room when I finally get it where I want it. But to everyone, Happy New Year. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you guys next year.